ג'ון אדזהד, לנד הוא אנגלי, היה שחקן בלקפול לשעבר, והכניס את השחקנים האלה למוטיבציה אדירה שהניבה את הניצחון המפתיע על אוסטרליה לפני שבוע. הוא האיש ש...
So there we are, that's the Mount Smart Stadium. We are getting the Israeli commentary leaking through the system at the moment. We hope that'll be corrected for you. But as you can see, not the biggest of crowds in New Zealand, which is a bit of a surprise really, because you'd think that the victory over Australia last week would have generated a bit more interest in Auckland. But it has been raining there, and perhaps the threat of rain has kept some of the people away. But I can assure you that with the interest that Australians have in this game at the moment, the match would have drawn a big crowd in Sydney or in Melbourne. That's Yitzhak Schnaur, one of the two Israeli coaches, and a big day for him. He's been around a long time, but he knows that World Cup football is now putting the sort of pressure on him that he's never had before. Each game is a cruncher. It was a cruncher in Tel Aviv, and it is a cruncher here today. And whatever happens, unless something quite remarkable happens, it'll be a cruncher again for him next Sunday. The referee is, as I said, Claude Bouillet of France. The two captains, Moshe Sinai on the left and Ricky Herbert on the right. Ricky Herbert now assuming the sweeper position in the absence of Kerry Evans. And there is the New Zealand lineup. Just remember the one change from the team that defeated Australia 2-0. Darren McLennan is out. He suffered an injury in that game, and Chris Riley is the man at number 13 to come in and replace him. Chris Riley, midfielder come striker. So plenty of attacking power in the New Zealand side, and indeed quite a few of them on the bench. Three midfield players in Levy, Debenham and Halligan. There's the Israeli lineup, and likewise one change from their last outing, that was against Australia at the Ramat Gan, and Shalom Tikva coming in at number 10 to replace Eli Ohana, who is on the bench today. Moshe Sinai, in my view, the real danger man in this Israeli side. Difficult to contain, a wonderful passer of the ball, absolutely deadly with free kicks. And as we saw from that volley that he cracked against Australia, which was deflected away, he can score goals from all sorts of positions and distances. Israel in the all blue attacking the goal to our left. And big day at the Mount Smart Stadium. The pitch looking a little bit, if anything, sandier than it did last week. Clint Gosling retaining his place in goal. He did have a good game against Australia. So here's Mike Ridenton, just going past Sinai, who obstructs him a touch, and New Zealand gets a free kick. Long one forward. Wright. It's David Pizanti, just back from Queen's Park Rangers, and by the way, his club has put out a feeler for the Israeli goalkeeper Ronny Ginzburg. In fact, QPR officials and the officials of Ronny Ginzburg's club are meeting right now. In comes the free kick, and it's Barkley who cracked it with the left. Ginzburg gets a touch and a feel of the ball. The two linesmen, Michel Girard of France and Carlo Longhi of Italy. And Signor Longhi will referee the match in Sydney next week. That's away by Amar, the sweeper. Here's Billy Wright, operating on the right side, trying to break through. Iluz. And out of Sinai. hit just with a touch too much power. Ridenton with the throw. Pizanti finding a way out of his dilemma. And here's Billy Wright for the Kiwis. And all Australia, for a change, will be barracking for New Zealand today. And not just because of neighbourly love. Here's Ricky Herbert. Ridenton. Inside for Lund. And the Israelis regain possession. Here's Shalom Tikva. Question mark over his fitness. This is a dangerous break by the Israelis. Rosenthal is away. He couldn't reach it in the end, but an incisive move by Israel. And the through balls to Ronny Rosenthal will, or may, certainly play an important part in this game. They certainly did when Ronny Rosenthal scored the winning goal against New Zealand in Tel Aviv in the opening match of the campaign. Free kick to Israel. Billy Wright looking very committed, getting back behind the goal. Behind the ball, I should say. And no doubt Moshe Sinai will contemplate on taking the free kick here. Behind him is Amar and Pizanti. Kick already taken and wasted. On the bench for Israel, by the way, goalkeeper Asayag, Parselani, Aharoni, both of those are defenders. Strikers Levy and Ohana. And for New Zealand, the goalkeeper Van Hattem. Tony Levy is on the bench. Debenham, Halligan, both midfielders. And Gray is a defender. Fred de Jong. On national team duty, taking a break from his duties with his Sydney club Marconi. Cohen sporting a strap on the left wrist. No major injury worries for the Israelis. They arrived very early in Auckland. They were there when Australia played New Zealand last week. Throw. Cohen gets the throw again. And Shalom Tikva, who's playing deeper than Eli Ohana, different type of role. Forward comes Lund for the Kiwis. Out of Iluz. That's Tommy Mason. Cohen, more involved in defensive duties in these early minutes than he likes to be, loves going forward, essentially an attacking player. Free kick again to Israel. Here's Amar. New man to the Oceania battles this time around. Amar, the sweeper. Of the gallery biggest crowds really at Mount Smart. But those who did not come might just regret it if this move comes to anything. Amar, and he gives away a corner. And some valuable work put in by Robert Ironside. Easily distinguished these days with his blonde dreadlocks. So corner then to the Kiwis. Swinging in, out comes Ginzburg powerfully. Punches away. Billy Wright, and that's miscued. Very hyped up performer, Billy Wright. Man with a short fuse, who's been in some trouble with a lot of coaches. Most recently Les Scheinflug at Blacktown City, who dispatched him to a state league club in Victoria. Goal kick to Israel with just under 10 minutes gone. And no score. Remember, the two teams played, or at least the first game between the two teams in the series resulted in a 1-0 win to Israel at the Ramat Gan. And the last time they played each other on this ground in a World Cup tie, Israel lost quite decisively. Billy Wright. That's away by Herbert. And then Israel throw. To be taken by David Pizanti. Amar. Man available on the far side. That's Avi Cohen. And cautiously back to Bonnie Ginzburg. Here's Amar. Cohen. The Kiwis can break again, but well bottled up, the Kiwi strikers so far, by, I must say, a very confident and cool-looking Israeli rearguard. The referee not being quite understood by the Kiwis. And it'll be an Israel free kick. It's a long way out. Sinai over the ball, curling it towards Rosenthal. Alon was there as well. Avi Cohen in, finally cleared. And a foul again. Klinger goes down, holding his head. In fact, a yellow card has been shown. Yellow card has been shown, I think, to Billy Wright. I'm not certain who copped the booking. It was Klinger who committed the foul. He'll get the free kick against him. But the yellow card looked like it was received by a Kiwi player. There is the incident, or the latter stages of it, and a clash of heads is what caused near Klinger to stay down. Out comes Ginzburg, confidently, but almost lost it. Rescued in the end. And the Kiwis piling on the pressure, and Malcolm Dunford coming in very hard on the goalkeeper. There might be some recriminations on him by the Israelis. A Kiwi player is down, so a bit of fireworks at the Mount Smart. Ronny Ginzburg looks okay. Here is the incident, and this is a determined challenge by Malcolm Dunford on Ronny Ginzburg. So Ginzburg is going to get a spot of attention, and it looks like Robert Ironside who's getting the attention from the New Zealand physio. There was the incident there which caused Robert Ironside to stay down, and then the chance for Dunford, a little bit too long for him. The keeper out well, and Malcolm Dunford thought he'd go for it. Ronny Ginzburg involved in a rather spectacular goal given away by him against New Zealand at this ground back in 1985, but has really cemented his place in the team since then. Amar with the free kick. It's away by Lund towards Tommy Mason, but it'll be a throw-in. Rosenthal being watched by Lund, by Gary Lund. Tikva says it was handball, says in fact that the ball had gone off a New Zealander. Runs away with amusement as to why he didn't get the corner. But it could have been that the ball was out of play before it touched the New Zealander anyway. Gosling. Ironside losing it to Klinger. Tikva. And through ball tried for Rosenthal. Well read by Gary Lund, or in fact Malcolm Dunford. And it's Dunford away. Back by Cohen. Side for Ricky Herbert. He was looking for Chris Riley. And now the Israelis trying to knit together something sensible here. Rosenthal taking his men on, and the whistle's gone again for a foul by Billy Wright on Ronny Rosenthal. Billy Wright very quick to come back for the challenge. And there really is a lot of attention being paid to this man, and understandably. So with a quarter of an hour gone, no score at the Mount Smart. It's a free kick to Israel to be taken by Moshe Sinai, and he might just have a go. He did with the left foot, but not with the power and accuracy that one is used to from that man. Side for Ricky Herbert. Ridenton. Billy Wright. Herbert. And the New Zealanders not really having it together in attack. They are standing their ground at the back. But I fancy that Israel are the more confident side at the moment. But very much even Stevens in Auckland. That's another free kick. And they've been coming with great regularity over these first 16, 17 minutes of the game. Robert Ironside watching his man. Tikva trying to head it on. Rosenthal is there, and it's gone in. Rosenthal has scored and opened the scoring with just 16 minutes gone in the game. So Ronny Rosenthal, the man that did the damage for Israel against the Kiwis in the opening match of this Oceania campaign, does it again. And that's not a good sign for Australia. It was really, I thought, a misdirected header, by Shalom Tikva, which got Rosenthal in. But his courage and his alertness gave him the goal. So 17 minutes gone at the Mount Smart Stadium, and it's 1-0 to Israel. And here again is how it happened. Rosenthal just holding off Gary Lund, his marker, and directing the ball. He did very well. He could hardly see the ball coming from behind, and then seemed to know where the goalkeeper was to flick it past him. So Ronny Rosenthal scores his second goal of this campaign and his 5th goal for Israel in his 27th appearance. So the investments in bringing back the foreign legionnaires working well for Israel. There are 3 goals so far, all scored by expatriates. Plenty of time left in the match. But frankly, what Australia did not want is an early goal to Israel, because the work for the New Zealanders will be cut out indeed from now, having to score or win by a 3-goal margin. Rosenthal again on his left foot, fires it in, and Clint Gosling was rather fortunate that it went straight at him and lost it dangerously for a while. Rosenthal really in electrifying form today. He did this beautifully, fired it in on the turn, and Clint Gosling in a lot of bother. Dunford down, nice little chip here towards, and now Billy Wright can put it away. Yes, he does. It's 1-1. Well, for a moment the Israeli defense was caught flat-footed, their minds still swimming in the glory of Rosenthal's goal just a couple of minutes ago. They seem to be asleep here, and look where Billy Wright is, far on the right, and he had absolutely no problems putting this one away. So 19 minutes gone, now 20 minutes, and New Zealand are back on level terms. And I might add, good news for Australia. Here's Rosenthal again. So Billy Wright scoring twice in 2 matches, vindicating the faith that John Adshead has in him. Just 3 minutes elapsing between the 2 goals. Well, a clever little back heel tried by Shalom Tikva, but Sinai wasn't quite ready for it. And really, if you look at what the 2 teams were aiming for, it's not surprising that we've got 2 goals this early, because in a most ideal circumstance, or in a most ambitious circumstance, that was a nasty little obstruction from Sinai, really. He had no intention of playing the ball. Quite deliberate obstruction. In my view, worth the yellow card, but that is a matter of opinion. There is Sinai there. He put the foot up, then he pulled back on it, but had absolutely no intention of playing the ball. So to get back to that previous thought, really, if the 2 teams were honest about what they wanted from this match, they both wanted a 3-0 victory. So a high-scoring game was always on the cards, as we look at that rather unsavory little foul by Moshe Sinai, who's in a little bit of trouble back home. In fact, the word was that he wasn't particularly interested in coming on this journey. His club is bottom of the league, in deep relegation trouble, deep financial strife, and even Sinai himself involved in allegations of financial impropriety, and he asked the two coaches not to take them or to spare him from this journey because his mind wouldn't be on the game, but they talked him into coming anyway. So a yellow card again. I'm not sure to whom, but it was for chatting. So the second booking of the game, or was it in fact for Moshe Sinai? It was something that deserved the yellow, as we look at it again to confirm that. And if Monsieur Bouillet gave the yellow card to Sinai for that, he would get no argument from us. Here's the free kick. Out comes Ginzburg comfortably, not under any sort of pressure. Forward looking again for Rosenthal, who's looking like a lonely man up front for the Israelis. But a lethal lonely man. Here's Billy Wright. Iluz. Away by Alon. And Davidi, but it's a free kick again. Given away by Malcolm Dunford. 2 goals in 2 matches against Australia. Rosenthal, indeed, under a lot of pressure there, forced to play it back. Here's Cohen. Amar. Well, a 1-1 draw would certainly suit the Australians. Not as much as a 1-0 win to New Zealand would have done, or even a 2-1 win to New Zealand, but nonetheless, it's not the worst that can happen. Here's Tikva inside to Rosenthal. Sinai! Blocked! And a very important block at that. Billy Wright brings it away, and here's New Zealand on the counter-attack, which could spell some danger. Dunford away. With him is Iluz. And the dangerous man coming forward, in fact, it's Herbert. And Shlomo Iluz coming into the game against Australia in Tel Aviv is somewhat a surprise selection. He's a marker. And that's what his job entails today. And the whistle's gone again. And just like our Singaporean referee Ben Singer last week, this referee quite content to blow with every single infringement. Minutes gone, 1-1 the scoreline at the Mount Smart Stadium. Dunford, highly speculative. David Pizanti, safe one home. Amar. Israelis in no great hurry at the moment. It'll be a New Zealand throw. Well, Barkley. Now the Israelis trying to break, but the Kiwi defenders growing in confidence really over the last few minutes. Here's Billy Wright. Sinai finding Pizanti. Rosenthal is ahead of Pizanti, but now well marked. And Pizanti manages to get away from Billy Wright, but not from Ricky Herbert. And that's a classic example of the use of a sweeper. Cohen. Rosenthal trying to flick it on for Klinger, and Gary Lund arguing with the referee, says it was not a foul. Well, there's nothing you can do about it, son. He won't change his mind. Kick then to the Israelis, and the frightening sight of Sinai, and that's not too far away. So the Kiwis had better be wary of Sinai's ability to bend them and curl them, and now there's a substitution. Danny Halligan is coming on to replace Michael Ridenton, so that's a defender off for a midfielder on. So the first change of the game, Ridenton limping off, but it might just give the New Zealanders a more attacking posture. Here's the free kick, and it's curled, but curled way too high by Sinai. Does know how to curl them in when he hits them right, but he didn't then. Danny Halligan coming on for the Kiwis. He came on against Australia as well. Here's the goal kick from Gosling. Tikva. Sinai. Halligan taking up Ridenton's position at right back. Now Rosenthal trying to break away from Lund. And it was a good cross in, low and hard. Rather panicky clearance in the end. And the target man was Sinai coming through the middle. And Ricky Herbert just admonishing some of his colleagues for not marking these men properly. But it was a good run by Ronny Rosenthal and a good snap cross in. It'll be near Klinger to take the throw. In, and the whistle's gone for a foul by Alon. So a free kick to New Zealand, and on the half hour it's New Zealand 1, Israel 1. Ronny Rosenthal in the 16th minute breaking the deadlock, and 3 minutes later Billy Wright equalizing. Slow Iluz working like a beaver at the back. Klinger, the man giving away the throw. Barkley, away by Alon. Dunford with a shot, and no real problems for Ginzburg. Here's Pizanti. Well, both teams looking as though they're content to just hold things as they are for the moment. The pressure will increase on the New Zealanders as time goes by. Not too many risks being taken, though, by either party. Rosenthal again. Klinger making a lateral run. Rosenthal has no doubt gone in the middle, and that's away by Billy Wright. David Pizanti with a throw. Rosenthal has come across to help, but he's being shadowed by two men at the moment. Not too many options for Pizanti. Tikva trying to break through, does well, trying to get past another. And in fact, the corner has been given. Danny Halligan giving the corner away, and Yitzhak Schneur off his bench. Sitting next to him is Jakob Grunman. And this is Moshe Sinai. Outswinger, header. Not a bad looking header either by Avi Cohen. He is dangerous in the air coming forward, wondering why his luck has deserted him. He has scored one goal already for his country from just such a situation. Good outswinging corner, lofted high by Moshe Sinai, and Avi Cohen absolutely dominant in the air. So John Adshead counting the minutes, no doubt at the moment, which show that there's about 10 minutes to go in this first half. Ricky Herbert. Pizanti. I should think the most dangerous part of this game, if this scoreline remains, will be the last quarter of an hour or so, by which time the Kiwis may have considered that it's too late to rattle up the goals they need and might just become a bit more vulnerable. Wright. Halligan's breaking on his right to take a man with him. That's a good ball through. Here's Halligan in, and it's gone in! 2-1 to New Zealand, and again it's Malcolm Dunford. Well, what an amazing man, Malcolm Dunford. 3 goals in the last 3 games, for which he turned out in the colours of New Zealand. A very alert goal scorer. And 35 minutes into the match, capitalising again on a move started by Billy Wright. A lovely through ball here. It was Danny Halligan with a cross, and Dunford delivers some great news for Australia. So 2-1 to the Kiwis after 35 minutes of play. Lovely cross really by Danny Halligan, and Dunford coming through from midfield, as he so often does, finding himself unmarked. So that goal coming after 35 minutes. And not a bad try on the turn by Amar, coming forward adventurously, and Israel in big trouble. This scoreline, need I remind you, and I shall be reminding you every time a scoreline comes up, what that means to Australia, but this scoreline would mean the Aussies would only need a draw in the final game to get to the next stage. Malcolm Dunford, a villain for Australia last week, hero at the moment for the Socceroos. Billy Wright breaks again. His contribution has been vital already. Scorer of the first goal and big contributor to the second. forward by Ricky Herbert. Ironside. Klinger for Israel. Here's Sinai. Breaking on the right was Tikva. That's a good run by Klinger! And he's put it in, 2-2. Well, the goals are coming thick and fast. Wonderful run by Klinger. And an incisive move. At that time, really, it was the New Zealand defence which seemed to have fallen asleep. Klinger bringing up that scoreline with just 37 minutes gone in the game. 1.5 minutes since the last goal. Lovely through ball to him, but totally unmarked. Made a lovely blindside run, and the defenders simply didn't know how to pick him up. So Australia celebrated for a couple of minutes, as did New Zealand, but the look on Gosling's face reflects the disappointment for the moment in the Kiwi camp. So just 37 minutes, we've seen 4 goals, but it's not improbable that there'll be more. The good thing from Australia's point of view is that the Kiwis are really making a game of it. In the most ideal circumstances, Jakob Grunman and Yitzhak Schnauer would want their team to win by 3 clear goals here, and that now means they will have to rattle up 5. In comes the free kick. Away by Amar. Klinger and Rosenthal turns well. With him is Danny Halligan, but the cross comes to nothing. Dunford. Here's Lund, and it'll be the safe one home. Kiwis try to break again. Ricky Herbert being involved, as is Malcolm Dunford. Fred de Jong down. Tommy Mason in. Dunford causing a lot of damage in the air, as he did against Australia. Here's Sinai. Rosenthal again the target. With him is Gary Lund, who's been assigned to mark him today. We shall see whether that's proven to be a good move. He's a big and strong lad, Gary Lund. Whether he's exactly the quickest man on the park, I'm not sure. Rosenthal certainly could be accused of that. Here's Halligan. Ironside. Halligan. And patiently earning the wrath of some of the members of the gallery. And a rather more direct clearance from Gosling. Away by Amar. Whistle again for an Israeli free kick. And that's the scoreline with 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Amar to take the free kick. Short one for Avi Cohen. In the long one, Sinai was coming in for the header. No problems for Gosling. He made one phenomenal save from Graham Arnold last week, much to Australia's chagrin. Lynn Gosling. Amar, only a young man. his 8th international. Here's Billy Wright. Good ball back to Danny Halligan, who tries to float it in with the outside. Caught Ginzburg off mark, but he had plenty of time, Ginzburg, to come across and save. Here's Avi Cohen. Klinger. With him is Dunford. Out by Tommy Mason. Avi Cohen. Back for Alon. Amar. Sinai. Again. Little 1-2 with Avi Cohen. Sinai. Square meant for Davidi, but it didn't come off. Play on. Advantage given. Good decision by the referee, even though there is a man down writhing in agony. And now he blows for obstruction on Billy Wright. Davidi, the man accused. And now the physio can come on to attend to the New Zealander on the far side, seeking attention. And end-to-end stuff at the Mount Smart Stadium so far. Not the purest football, but entertaining enough. Ricky Herbert. Up goes Ginzburg, and commandingly. He's been good in the air today, Ginzburg. Now Sinai, further forward than you'd expect him. But he needed to give Rosenthal some support. Davidi tries to flick it on, thought that Sinai might be running in the gap. Davidi not happy with his own pass. Here's Tommy Mason. Long and hefty forward for Fred de Jong to chase. And Amar lets it go. Ginzburg. Playing in his 21st international for Israel. Reached the 20 milestone against Australia at the Ramat Gan. Away by Ricky Herbert. It'll be a throw for Israel to be taken by Klinger. Tikva turning his man, and Tommy Mason can't believe that he's been accused of committing a foul, but he has. The referee's given a free kick Israel's way. Now this could be dangerous, and the number 6, Alon, is going to be the target man here. And in it comes, but the whistle's gone for the half-time break. So the agony ends for the moment for both sets of coaches. 2-2 the scoreline at the break. Ronny Rosenthal opening the scoring in the 16th. 3 minutes later, Billy Wright equalising for New Zealand. Malcolm Dunford adding another for the Kiwis. And finally, Klinger bringing the score to level terms. World again, the mysteries of football as we await just what will happen in this second 45 minutes. There have been few tipsters around our neighbourhood here who would have tipped a 2-2 scoreline, and that's been achieved already, and there's 45 minutes still to go, and that's out. Too long, too far. Avi Cohen. And Tommy Mason with a throw. Forward by Dunford. And not very clever work really by Fred de Jong. New Zealand gets it back fortunately for them. Here's Ricky Herbert. Halligan. That's Pizanti down for Tikva. It'll be a throw to Israel, which will be taken by David Pizanti. One of the expatriates back for Israel, and the word is that the expatriates for Australia will be back next week. Charlie Yankos, Eddie Krinčević and Frank Farina. And indeed, our latest information is that David Mitchell will be available as well. His club Chelsea defeated West Bromwich Albion yesterday to clinch promotion to the First Division. So there's no real problem for Chelsea letting David Mitchell go. Tikva. Halligan. Now Davidi breaks. Brought down and fouled. So Davidi. Fouled by Robert Ironside. Gets the free kick. Robert Ironside can see the humorous side of it. And here's the free kick, quickly taken towards Tikva. And that's Fred de Jong. Taking up his position in the middle is Robert Ironside. De Jong will have to be quicker about it than this. And loses out. Taking too long about it. In comes the long cross. And Noel Barkley's caught offside. Noel Barkley. And Ginzburg, as I mentioned, under the eyes of Queen's Park Rangers. His transfer fee, by the way, is just over $400,000. And that's a lovely ball in. Really, I don't think Fred de Jong knew too much about it. Otherwise, he would have pounced on that, because it was a good ball, a lovely little chip through to him. But I'm not sure whether Fred de Jong knew exactly where the ball was meant to end up. Dunford it was who chipped it through, and Fred de Jong should have been quicker off the mark to get to it. Pizanti, wearing the number 9 shirt, is Halligan. Forward by Wright. Header nodded on, and through comes Ironside with a powerful run. But he's run out of room momentarily as he lashes out. But ideally, he should have taken the ball through on his run. Didn't quite work out for Robert Ironside. But he was well prompted. By that time, he had to check and create more space for his right foot shot. Pizanti with a throw. Welcome Dunford. Busy Beaver. Still New Zealand. Long ball in towards Barkley. Away by Klinger, but not very well away. And the header too soft by Barkley. I think he tried to nod it down for one of his colleagues. In the end, it was neither a threat to goal nor a prompt for one of his colleagues. This ball just lofted high in the air, hoisted. And the gentle header, too gentle to be a threat to Ginzburg. Israel trying to break. Rosenthal almost managing to get away. Tikva. Rosenthal not understanding the move, and Sinai allows it to go out so he can take the throw. Ricky Herbert marshalling his men at the back. That's a bad throw. Klinger manages to save it for Israel. Iluz. And Iluz now gives it away. And luck is with the Israelis again. Tikva. Well, Shalom Tikva, I wonder what you think of his performance today. Yaakov Grunman, one of the Israeli coaches, was heard to say in Auckland during the week that Tikva's looking so good at training that had he played in Tel Aviv against Australia, they would have won and would only need 1 point from this game. And that's a foul on Avi Cohen. Avi Cohen in some pain. The clash was with Malcolm Dunford. Let's have a look at it again. Avi Cohen, in fact, coming across to obstruct and brought down. And on that replay, he really only has himself to blame. And the knee or the ankle is going to be attended to by one of those magic sprays, which, by the way, FIFA is discouraging now from physios because of its effect on the ozone layer. A bit of environmentalist crusading from FIFA. And you'll notice from Avi Cohen's shin pads that he's wearing them, and so is every other player in this match, as they have to in World Cup matches these days. There was a kick there from Malcolm Dunford, by the way, but it was just him, Avi Cohen, obstructing the player, who in turn was trying to get him out of the way. So it's... But the free kick has been given Israel's way. Forward by Klinger. And now Klinger is limping. And Ronny Rosenthal looking fit and well. And Dunford forward. It was Billy Wright who was going on the overlap, and Fred de Jong was in the vicinity as well. But really the spice has gone out of this game for the moment. It wasn't there when the two teams returned for the second half. Klinger, Avi Cohen, Rosenthal, always with two men shadowing him. Mason behind, sweeping behind Gary Lund. I must say that that work is done very well at the moment by the New Zealand defenders. Here's Mason. And now Barkley. Dunford. And Davidi forward. Here's Sinai. Tikva. A little through ball for Rosenthal, almost got there. But Rosenthal turning back at Tikva and saying, that's not where I wanted it. Billy Wright allowing it to go out of play. To New Zealand, and by Danny Halligan. Here's Ricky Herbert. Dunford up for it. He wants to throw. Well, it did look, I must say, I have to agree with Malcolm Dunford there. It looked like it went off an Israeli head. He was definitely disputing the decision to give the throw Israel's way. Danny Halligan leaving that. And it'll be Ricky Herbert to take the free kick. Forward by Lund, and Fred de Jong could have been luckier. The ball flew over his head and ended up in the safe arms of Ronny Ginzburg. Had some anxious moments for the two Israeli coaches. They want a victory here, a victory they can still get, but they want it by a comfortable margin so as not to be under threat from the Australians. At the moment, 4-3 is their goal difference. They want at least another goal. And Chris Riley. Well, the game has taken a pattern now which we're really the front men of both sides at a loss when it comes to ideas. Here's Ronny Rosenthal. Cohen steals it away, and now Sinai is free. Left-footed cross in, down by Halligan and straight at David Pizanti. That was rather anxiously done by Halligan. He could have let it go, and Pizanti gets away. He's looking for the space to get the cross in, and the New Zealanders are rather casual at the back at the moment, and now give away a corner. Davidi wants a corner. Well, it looks like he didn't get it. A goal kick has been given by referee Claude Bouillet, 44 years of age, as are both his linesmen, Michel Girard and Carlo Longhi. Chris Riley looking for some support. Dunford's there! Good save. What a good try by Malcolm Dunford. Good little chip in from Chris Riley. Malcolm Dunford, not the luckiest of men there, because Ronny Ginzburg did an excellent job with the save here on that lovely volley. Never discount Malcolm Dunford. Danny Halligan with a throw. So that was the closest we've come to a goal in this half. Still 2-2. Ironside, Fred de Jong, and gets a second bite at the cherry, away by Amar. Ricky Herbert forward. It'll be Pizanti, not very decisively away. And one would have to say the Israeli defenders would have to be far more decisive in the return match against the Australians. And now Yitzhak Schnauer warming up Eli Ohana. So the sign's going to be put out that Schnauer wants goals here, and he wants a victory. 2 draws, remember, will do the Israelis to advance to the next stage. If they draw here, they can still only draw in the last game, or may only draw in the last game and still advance. But Schnauer wants a victory. Amar with the goal kick. So far, just the one substitution made in the game when Danny Halligan came on for Mike Ridenton, who went off injured in the first half. And Halligan made a crucial contribution. And that's Klinger. Back to his keeper. Tikva. Sinai is away on the left. Square ball, good one too. Some good off-ball running here by the Israelis as Klinger puts this over and wide with the left foot. Dear Klinger. 25 caps so far, and Parselani is the man who's going to come on. Now, I stand corrected. Because Parselani is a defender, and he's coming on for David Pizanti. Pizanti, an attacking defender. Parselani, very much a defending defender, if I may put it that way. And there's not going to be any attacking qualities that you'll see from Parselani, and there's no sign of Ohana. So maybe Mr. Schnauer and Mr. Grunman are happy with this scoreline. Unless Pizanti is suffering from a knock, of course. But the chase goes on. Here's Fred de Jong. A bit of a wrestling match with Avi Cohen. Parselani plays as a sweeper. And there is the little clash between Barkley and Harvey Cohen, and they clash again. There's Parselani, the number 12, the subject of an incident we do remember, although we'd like to forget, involving Gary McDowell last year in New Zealand. Tommy Mason. Up goes Ginzburg, couldn't punch, and it's on over. Fred de Jong, most unlucky. Ginzburg, for once, managed to make a mistake. He did punch the ball, but not decisively enough. And it came beautifully for the volley, and it rocketed over the bar. Poor old Fred de Jong, poor old Australia. Well, we might see some goals yet in this game. Some more goals as New Zealand get a free kick, and Alon has some words to say to the referee. And the slow hand clap is up for the Kiwis, for the All Whites. They want a goal here, they want a victory. Whether New Zealand can qualify for the World Cup or not might be immaterial for them now, but they do want to win. Robert Ironside, not happy with things. Five-man wall up. In comes the chip. Ginzburg loses it, but it's hooked away. Pressure will be back on Israel from this throw. And Ricky Herbert, who knows how to hurl them in, will take it. And no doubt Malcolm Dunford's in the middle somewhere. In comes the long throw. There's Dunford. And it's Lund, almost off the line by Avi Cohen. The New Zealanders coming desperately close to their third goal on a number of occasions now. Here's Ronny Rosenthal, though, and he's very dangerous on these counter-attacks, and he was obstructed. The referee is absolutely right. Powerful runner, Ronny Rosenthal. In the Olympic qualifier between the two countries in Adelaide last year, he left the New Zealanders for dead with one of those runs and punished them quite severely. Cohen on the receiving end. And Harvey Cohen will leave this for Moshe Sinai. And that goal is well within his range. Just a three-man wall. Shalom Tikva marked. And a little decoy running there before the kick was taken, but not taken very well. That's how it happened. And it went through the legs of two players. Tikva very cleverly leaving it, but Clint Gosling awake to it all. Dunford. Jong offside, and one has to sense that if there is going to be a goal to either side today, it'll be largely as a result of mistakes, because the planned moves are just not working out up front for either side. We have 23, just under 23 minutes gone in the second half, and the half-time score of 2-2 remains. The referee has blown for a foul on Ronny Rosenthal. Was it? And Ronny Rosenthal is worried about his left eye. And no attention given. Free kick is going to go New Zealand's way. Rosenthal, the man penalised. That's away by Harvey Cohen. And a lot of men forward for New Zealand. They could be caught here. This is Sinai. Rosenthal on the run. Look how quick he is. He's in now. And Tikva! He has to score. Two bites at the cherry. Brilliant work by Clint Gosling. Well, I wonder if Australia will have to thank Clint Gosling for that. That was brilliant piece of goalkeeping. Lovely work and powerful work by Rosenthal. Tikva had the goal at his mercy here, and a second go, and both times it won away off Clint Gosling. So no wonder he's slightly concussed. Shalom Tikva will not believe how he didn't score from there. And the man on the far right of your picture, Rosenthal, did all the damage. Tikva simply had to put it in, but Gosling's positioning was absolutely brilliant. So Clint Gosling still a little bit jaded. Shalom Tikva comes across to console him. And it's all in good spirits. And Tikva, while he consoles, figures he might just take a nip of the refreshment. John Outshead puffing on another cigarette. But I dare say he'll be pretty cool and calm about it now. He must know that with just 20 minutes to go in the game and 3 goals still to get, any World Cup aspirations are now well and truly gone. But there might be some goals here yet in this game. Ohana finally comes on. We're not sure whom he replaced. And in comes the corner from Israel. And that's gone away off Klinger. Alon has come forward, as he does so dangerously on so many occasions. Eddie Krinčević's height in the next match will be vital when it comes to neutralizing Alon. And I must say, vice versa. So Eli Ohana carrying a groin injury from the European Cup midweek game. Mechelen played Sampdoria. Ohana scored a goal. But in the process suffered a groin injury, which he is still carrying today. And that's why he was overlooked for the opening lineup. Here's Parselani with a free kick. That's Lund. Amar in a more forward role at the moment, but indeed more midfield role, with the absence of, or with the coming on of Parselani. Ohana tried to do a back heel there, but it's Ricky Herbert who brings it away. Here's Noel Barkley. Back to Herbert. And Dunford not quite reading the bounce. Avi Cohen forward. Barkley. And it is becoming a cavalcade of mistakes this match now. Not much of it is happening for either team. Tommy Mason that time giving it away. And assigned, I wonder, to mark Eli Ohana, which is no easy task. So the two coaches playing it safe by bringing on Parselani, and indeed adding a bit of bite to the attack by bringing on Ohana. And Parselani can't keep that one in. It'll be a corner to New Zealand, so a ray of hope for the New Zealanders in a match that still needs a deciding goal. 2-2 it remains. The last goal we saw came in the 37th minute of the first half by Klinger. And there is the danger man, Malcolm Dunford, being watched at the moment by Yehuda Amar. And Tony Levy replaces Chris Riley. He came on in the first meeting between the two sides. The corner has come in. Now Rosenthal leaving it for Tikva. And he's brought down by Robert Ironside. Rosenthal trots away, but gets the free kick. That's how it happened. And indeed, a foul committed by his hand, Robert Ironside. It's a free kick again, this time to Israel. And it's Sinai, but not going for the direct shot. Tikva, Rosenthal. Back for Sinai. Curling it. Iluz is up, but he's offside, as is Avi Cohen, and maybe even Shalom Tikva. So the offside trap rarely utilised today. Utilised that time, and effectively. You're watching the World Cup qualifier between New Zealand and Israel from the Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland. 15 minutes to go, and it's 2-2. A scoreline. Amar away now. And not a bad try again by Malcolm Dunford. It was put in, I'm not sure whether as a pass or as a shot. But Dunford arriving very well and very timely. It was hoisted in. The header away was not very decisive by Amar. And it was Tony Levy who put it in with the outside of the foot into the path of Malcolm Dunford, and all he could do was hook it over. But again, the good work was done by Bonnie Ginzburg, the way he comes out courageously and puts his man off. He's had an excellent game today, Bonnie Ginzburg. Here's Amar, now a midfielder. That's down for Ohana. And Ohana penalised. Forward by Levy. Amar. Billy Wright losing out. The Israelis can come away. And Rosenthal breaks again. He really does look awesome when he goes on one of those runs, lunging forward with awesome power. And it was really only his control that let him down that time. Brought down. In fact, he kept going after that. And the decisive tackle was by Tommy Mason. Rosenthal waits Tommy Mason down as a result of that challenge. Well, there's the Israeli bench, and I wonder what's going through the minds of those two coaches now. A draw here means that a draw will be enough for Israel against Australia. They will be in the box seat, really. And I suppose you would anticipate a very defensive formation against Australia in that last game. That would have some logic. But defensive formations can backfire on you. And Australia, of course, would need a victory. Whether Israel draws or wins this match. Here's Gosling. Rosenthal made a run again, and for once Moshe Sinai couldn't get the pass away. And it has to be said that Moshe Sinai's contribution to this game has so far been quite minimal, and that might be a key to it all, because like I suppose Australia needs a good Oscar Crino, Israel needs a good Moshe Sinai in order to function properly, and he has not functioned properly today. Here's Tikva. Rosenthal makes a run on the right, but it's through for Ohana. Just a little bit too long. It would have been curtains, I fancy, for Clint Gosling had the pass been better weighted by Tikva. That's away by Amar, and that would indicate that Israel are trying to kill time here, which in turn means they're happy with the scoreline. That was Tony Levy's throw. Robert Ironside lofting it in, and Ginzburg is there. Billy Wright was hovering behind Bonnie Ginzburg. Ironside getting a lot of work in again today. Now, the Israelis trying to break again, and they might just do here. Ohana all alone at the moment on the left. Tony Levy comes back and Ohana has to check. Here's Amar letting fly, and it goes wide. Amar thought it was worth having a go. Ohana laying the ball off for him. Only a slightly built man, Yehuda Amar. Played well against Australia in Tel Aviv as the sweeper. Billy Wright. Amar forward. Yehuda Amar, who plays for Hapoel Jerusalem. This man plays for Stade Liège in Belgium. Scored a couple of goals when he returned from his sortie in Tel Aviv against Australia for Stade Liège. And Robert Ironside, who plays very well these days for Sydney Olympic. If there's been a man of the match, certainly on the Israeli side, it would have to be Bonnie Ginzburg, and I have to also add that you'd have to go a long way before going past Queen Gosling at the other end. Danny Halligan. Forward by Ricky Herbert, away by Tikva. The minutes ticking away. There's about 7 to go in the game at the moment, and it's still 2-2. And now Ohana, there's men available here. Sinai with the left foot. It's not his day at all. We have not seen him coming through on that left-hand side too much in the game. He was well positioned here. Ohana did well to see him, but Sinai not having his best of days today. And almost a fatal error. Tikva. Away by Malcolm Dunford. Cohen to take the throw. That match between Australia and Israel next Sunday at the Sydney Football Stadium. And I can only echo the words of the Australian Soccer Federation in calling for your support, for maximum support in that match. Kick-off is at 3 o'clock, and tickets available, and it should be quite a day of drama at the Sydney Football Stadium when Australia tackles Israel. And for interstate viewers who can't get to that game, a full telecast of that match on SBS at 4:30 next Sunday afternoon. For all viewing areas outside Sydney. Here comes Osha Sinai. Davidi inside. And Tikva having to twist and turn to find the space for the shot. Not managing to get it on target today. I'm sure that the two coaches, Schnauer and Grunman, expected more from Tikva today. Hoped, I'm sure, that he might score. And by process of elimination, I'm pretty certain that the man Eli Ohana replaced was near Klinger. So a midfielder sacrificed for a striker. Here's Amar with a throw. 4 minutes to go before we go into stoppage time at the Mount Smart Stadium, and it's 2-2. And safely home to clean Gosling. Well, with the goal spree that we saw in the first 37 minutes of the match, I must say that we expected more from the second half. But what we've got out there now is two teams looking rather exhausted. Neither of them being able to find their way. New Zealand, I can understand. Israel really ought to be hunting for goals a bit better than they are. Here's Barkley chipping it for Fred de Jong. And a very good challenge by Davidi. A very important challenge as well. And Barkley with the corner. Now Ohana. And Amar. Ohana and Amar not quite understanding each other. And you can see there how soft and wet this pitch is at the moment. That's away by Parselani. Here's Gary Lund, and he figures back to clean Gosling is the safest way to do things. Amar goes up for this with Fred de Jong, and Amar is going to be penalised for that. Came in rather late on Tony Levy. Yehuda Amar. He's been a busy man today. And it's going to be Noel Barkley to put this free kick in. He takes most of the set pieces. That's away by Rosenthal. Look where he was. And a push by Fred de Jong. It'll be an Israeli free kick. And the two teams, I must say now, quite frankly, going through the motions. So this scoreline will put Israel on top of the group on 4 points after 3 matches. And again, putting them in a position where they only need a draw in order to get to the next stage, and the next stage means a home and away tussle against the winner of South American Group 2 out of either Colombia, Paraguay or Ecuador. Those qualifiers are not completed until early October in South America, so it'll be pretty late in the year before Australia can get around to those, or indeed Israel. And at the moment, Israel mathematically in the best position. But the crucial thing is that the last match is a home game for Australia. Now, I might remind you that despite the loss last week, it's a rare occurrence for the Socceroos, and since the tour of Czechoslovakia in 1986, the Socceroos have played 43 games and not once did they lose 2 matches in a row. And the pressure momentarily on Israel. It would be absolute disaster for the Israelis if they conceded a goal here in these dying seconds. We are 1 minute into injury time of a match which really petered out in this second half into a rather flat and uneventful affair. But here's Tikva and Rosenthal. Tikva again, and they overdid it, the Israelis, and they will rue the day, I'm sure of that. But the Israelis come forward again. Rosenthal, and is dispossessed by Gary Lund, and Rosenthal and Tikva just carelessly and I must say recklessly overdoing the fancy stuff. Now they're discussing it, doing a little post-mortem on it, but it's too late now. That should have been a goal. There's no question about it. That brilliant save by Clint Gosling and that dreadful miss by take your pick, Rosenthal or Tikva, may cost them dearly in the end. Rosenthal. That's away by Lund. Ohana trying to come through. In fact, it's Amar. Laid back, and it balloons over from a luckless Sinai. Ohana. I wonder if there's still a hint of a limp on Ohana. But it's New Zealand who come forward, lofted forward. Well, if Gary Mason was, or Tommy Mason was thinking of Australia, he wouldn't have done that. He would have kept possession. But it's New Zealand who are playing the Israelis today, and we just hope that they do the right thing for Australia's sake. Here's Amar. Well, it was a match of fireworks early in the first half hour. We saw 3 goals. 4 goals by the 37th minute. And it promised so much for the second half, as both teams, one assumed, went chasing for a comfortable victory. The referee now urging the players on to hurry it up and not to waste time, because he'll just stop the watch. Rosenthal, and he's adding on an awful amount of time here, this referee. It's almost 4 minutes now of time added on, and I'm not sure whether there were that many stoppages. Rosenthal, Ohana, he can cut it back, good save, Clint Gosling. New Zealand hero, Australian hero at the moment, Clint Gosling. Ohana did brilliantly. He cut it back well as well, but Clint Gosling read the move absolutely perfectly. Nice little touch by Rosenthal. Ohana past one man, cuts it back, and it was the cutback that Clint Gosling intercepted. Well, we are now 4 minutes and 35 seconds into stoppage time, and he finally blows and relieves fans in Australia watching this game. 49 minutes and 44 seconds into the second half. So the match ends 2-2 after Ronny Rosenthal opened the scoring. Then Billy Wright equalised in the first half. Malcolm Dunford made it 2-1.